Hello everybody, this is Chichihiro and welcome back to another episode of my playthrough of 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. In the previous episode, we ventured into the bowels of the ship. We're here at the bottom deck in the confinement rooms, I think they call them. They kind of look like prison cells. And we're here with Lotus and Seven, just looking around this place, solving puzzles, and it still seems like there's a lot that we have to investigate. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. All right. So last time we were doing things here with the sink and stuff. We found this tile, and I think that should go here, but the sink is already clogged, so I don't know. Hmm, is the drain clogged? It looks like a lot of the water isn't draining out of the sink. Right. So I don't think there's anything that we have to do here yet. Hmm. This sink is totally filled with water. Well, it looks like turning the knob did the trick. The sink's filling up with water. Well, it's already filled up. We stopped it so that we wouldn't drown. We also have this in the mirror, and we found like a towel with the same symbol that's in this room and in the other one. I don't know what's the connection there yet. There are a couple of wavy lines on the mirror over the sink. Right. I believe we also examined the toilet and everything here. We found like a moon symbol. So I think this should be everything in this room because we already also did the desk and stuff. I think what I'm gonna do is go look at the last room out of these three. The one that I was supposed to examine on my own, but I decided to tag along with the other two first. So, let's see. So dark in here. What's the deal with the lighting here? There's just this one beam of light. Rest of the place is too dark. I can't see anything. There's no way we can explore the rest of this room. Really? I can just barely see a mirror from the light coming through the ceiling. So it would be nice if that mirror was a little lower down. Looks like it's the same height as the mirror on the right. I wonder if that means anything. This one? This mirror seems really high. In fact, it's so high that it's kind of hard to see your reflection in it. Yeah, probably someone like Seven would make use of it. Maybe Ace too, he's also tall. It's a sink, but there's no light shining on it. It's hard to be sure because it's so dark here, but I don't think there's anything going on with this sink. This faucet is too hard to turn. Okay, anything else? There's this desk. God damn it, no matter how hard I pull on this damn thing, it won't budge. I guess I won't be opening this anytime soon. Okay. Doesn't look like it's got a keyhole and there doesn't seem to be anything stopping it. How the hell am I supposed to open it? I don't know. Because the other one had clear, like screws. There's a simple chair over where the light doesn't shine. Okay, anything about the bed? It's a blanket. Not a really great one, but still. This light's barely enough to see by. I feel like I'm gonna see a ghost here or something. Yeah. Okay, so let me... Right, we do have this. We have this that has a mirror here in the back. So... Okay, I've played Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I think we have to do something with this beam of light here. So let's try that. Oh yeah, we can probably use this mirror to reflect the light. Yeah. It's mirror shield time. Now I just gotta figure out where to reflect the light. Maybe if I go somewhere that's a little easier to shine light on. Okay, like a different angle. This. When I shine light on the mirror in the back. Oh. 4, 7, huh? Is that a number? So if I shine light on this mirror, then I get to see some numbers. I can see a 4 on the left and a 7 on the right. Okay. I'm gonna write that down. 4 and 7. And like the position is also important. I think, for example, like in a couple of escape rooms ago, well, actually it was the previous escape room that we did. The one in the shower room, right? There was the whole LLR puzzle that also took into account the position of the elements in like the wall. So yeah. Okay, so 4 and 7. And what about this one? So if I shine this light on the mirror in the back, I don't know, probably a typo. Okay, so we get the sun and the moon that we found on the toilet seats. Actually, it was the lids. I get it. If I shine light on a mirror, symbols appear. The left side has a sun and the right has a moon symbol. I'm gonna remember this. Okay, so is that connected to the numbers here? And if so, how? Can we look at the toilet here? There's nothing special about this toilet paper. I don't really think I need to bother shining any light on it. I can see a partition over there. It seems pretty pointless to bother examining it. What about the sink? Okay, it's nice to see the sink lit up, I guess, but all it shows me is the pipe. Listen, pipes are incredibly important in this game, okay? We have to examine all of them. Right. So, doesn't look like... can I shine a light on this? No, it's kind of the same dialogue as before. Can I look at the bed with the mirror and the reflection? No. Okay, so I think this is everything here in this room. Let's go back to the others. Let's go back here. I want to examine these again now that I have the knowledge that that's in the other room. It's just like the sun symbol we saw in the dark room. Yeah, that's right. There was some kind of number hint there too. How do you know this? Have I told you off screen? You think maybe the number was how many times we took a piss? Since you arrived? Where have you been going to the toilet? No, it's gotta be how many times we flushed. What is this conversation? Sure. I wonder, was the sun we saw in the dark room indicating this place? Was the number how many times I need to flush? So, do we flush like 4 times? Maybe? The only thing you can manipulate in this room is that string. Chances are they made this puzzle so someone wouldn't trigger it by accident. 1. I guess I should just keep pulling on this thing then. Alright, here goes. Second pull. Third pull. And that should be it. Did you just hear something? I did, but it doesn't look like anything's happened here. Huh, wonder what that sound was. In the other room? Maybe? Hang on. I'll be back in a moment. I just want to check that out right now. Hey Lotus, something else changed here? No? It's the same as the moon symbol we saw in the dark room. Right, there was a number there too, right? Number... That's probably how many times you're supposed to flush. How many times you pull the string. She's so proper. Whoa, that kind of went by. Something about, yeah, the number must be how many times we have to pull the string. I didn't click on that dialogue. It just went by. Very, very old toilet. Apparently Lotus refuses to touch it ever. Yeah, don't put your hands in there. So, okay, doesn't look like that noise had anything to do with this room, so we'll go back to 7 in a moment. But since we're here, let's just do the toilet flush puzzle here. So this is what the moon symbol was pointing to, huh? They probably made it so that someone wouldn't trigger it by accident. If that's the case, 1. Second time. And a third time. Fourth time. We're wasting so much water. Fifth time. This is the 6th consecutive time. And there's that sound again. It happens whenever I pull that string a couple of times. Junpei, did you hear something from the other room? Okay, so it is something in the other room, looks like. So before I move there, I'm gonna see what changed here when we did the sun toilet puzzle. And then, yeah, and then we'll go over there. The other room, you mean from the dark room? Oh, so, hang on, so all over from the dark room? Okay. Should I go there now, then? This is still the same. This hasn't changed. Nothing else seems to have changed, at least not obviously. So Actually, let's go back to the dark room. And what has changed here? A ray of light. We don't need to shine light on the hint anymore. Looks like the mirror was put up high so that you can reflect light off of it. Anything with the sink? There's no light shining on it. Oh, maybe the drawer? Hang on. There we go. Well, this drawer opens easily enough. And we have 2 tiles. Don't we? Wait. This is the exact same design as the other one? There are a bunch of weird lines on this tile thing. I don't get this. I don't think I can figure this one out on my own. So maybe if I go back to the other rooms and I examine it there with someone else present, they will give me their ideas? Bunch of weird lines. I don't get this. Okay. Looks like it. And here's the second tile. And yeah, the design seems to be exactly the same. There are a bunch of weird lines on this tile thing. Yeah, I don't get this. Sure. So I think it was 1 tile per each of the toilets that we sold. So let's see what 7 has to say about them. Take a look at this tile here. See, if you look real close, the 3 red lines here are on top of the other ones. Yeah, and I think I mentioned that it looks like the number 14. The red lines. Yeah. Uh-huh. So? A tile with 3 lines in it, huh? Hey, Junpei, I was thinking. The red line on the top. Doesn't it look like a 14? Yep. 14, huh? Yeah, I guess it kinda does. So... more flushes? The red lines on the tile look like they make a 14. Sure. This one is the same. And this one, same dialogue. Let's see what Lotus has to say about them. The red lines on the tile... Okay, so nothing extra doesn't look like. Right? Now, can we do something about this? Is the drain clogged? Nope. Doesn't look like there's anything that we can do with this. What about the towel? I don't know. Do we know what 7 has to say about the towel? Towel. These are for all ladies. Are they? I feel like I've seen that design somewhere before. Maybe I'm just losing it. Yeah, okay, towel connoisseur. It's a towel. Have I seen this design somewhere before? Yeah, that's the mirrors, but how does it relate to it? Kind of blue design. Oh, hang on. Yeah, give me that. Oh, okay, so I actually forgot to examine this whole sink. The 2 of them are connected, so now the tile has come off. The red lines on the tile look like they make a 14. Yeah, same dialogue, but now we have 4 of them. Can we combine them in some way? I don't think so. No. Okay. Junpei put the wet tile into his pocket. He was about to turn away when there was a noise behind him.
What the?
What is it? He spun around to see 7 kneeling on the floor. Oh my gosh, are you alright? His face was rigid and pale. Droplets of sweat covered his forehead.
Hey, what's going on? Are you okay, man?
Is it your head again?
You're sweating like crazy. Are you all right?
And I say again, in reference to what happened to him at the end of the true ending. He was concerned. He'd never seen 7 like this before. Slowly, the other man lifted himself to his feet on shaky legs.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just got a little dizzy, that's all.
Hey, buddy, it's okay if you have to take a break. His face was pale and his breathing was heavy. Sweat was pouring off his face and staining his shirt.
That's definitely more than just a little dizzy.
Yeah.
Are you sure? You don't look so good.
7 didn't answer. Half of his face was twisted, as if distorted by extreme pain, and his eyes were glazed. Finally, he spoke.
What am I doing here?
I wonder if he's getting like flashbacks from his time, captive in a room very much like this one. His words made no sense.
What are you talking about? We opened the number 2 door and walked in here. Don't tell me you forgot.
No, that's not what I mean.
He shook his head several times as if trying to clear something from
It
it.
ain't much, but I think some of my memories came back.
Uh-huh.
I think I've been here before.
That's right. Well, not here, but of course, yeah.
Huh?
I said I've been in this room before.
You were here? When? Why?
Oh, this revelation would be crazy if this was like one of your first routes and you had no idea what was going on.
Aoi. Right, Nona.
Oh, the names. Nona, that's right. That was the name of that girl. I was like, she's named. She's gotta be important. Suddenly, Seven was mumbling to himself. They were words Junpei didn't understand. Absolutely no context if this is the first time you're seeing this. Seven's hoarse voice trailed off, and Junpei couldn't make out what he'd said.
What the hell was that?
Seven's brow furrowed furiously, and he ground his stick back and forth.
It's right there. I feel like I'm this close to remembering everything, but I just can't.
Seven stopped, frustrated. He pulled his hat off and ran a hand through his hair. Then suddenly he looked up, his eyes wide.
That's right, an experiment. There was some kind of experiment going on this ship.
Yeah, tell me about this.
An experiment? What sort of experiment?
They were trying to control people.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that.
What the hell are you talking about?
Junpei didn't know what to make of Seven's story. Instead, he simply stared as Seven continued.
Aoi, Light, and Nona. Those were their names. Well, some of them. The kids that were in the experiment, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I think there were 4 or 5 more, but I don't remember all their names. Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm here.
Seven began to mumble to himself and wander aimlessly about the room. He looked confused. So far as Junpei could tell, the man was simply rambling, and there were odd twitches to his movements.
Experiment. Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Oh, there we go. Just drop in that, huh?
Those kidnapped kids. Was I working that case?
Seven continued to mumble to himself about things that meant nothing to Junpei. Junpei didn't have any answers for him, of course. He couldn't understand what was happening to Seven. All he could do was wait. After a few minutes, Seven finally stopped.
Wait, under this bed.
He crouched down and looked under the bed. His face registered mild surprise, and he began to mumble to himself again.
The hole's gone? No, maybe it was a different room.
Right.
There's gotta be a ton of rooms on this boat that look just like this one.
At last, Junpei could contain himself no longer.
Hey, what exactly do you remember?
This would be so confusing if you had zero context.
Maybe you could stop talking like a crazy person and tell me what's going on here.
Which is exactly what Junpei is going through right now. Seven stood up slowly.
Well, it's not like I really remember everything. I've only got bits and pieces, and they're scattered and don't make much sense.
I don't care. Tell me the bits and pieces then.
Yeah. Junpei could feel it. Whatever Seven had remembered, it was important. Very important.
Okay.
Seven drew a large muscled hand down across his face. As he wiped the sweat from his brow, he spoke.
From what I can remember, I think I was a cop.
A cop?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I was looking for that group of kids that got kidnapped 9 years ago.
So it's interesting that we are getting this backstory here. All right.
You remember that, right? It was all over the news.
Yeah, I was still in school. I don't remember all the details, but I do remember some of it. I think it was a bunch of kids right around my age. They all just disappeared. Nobody knew why.
Mm-hmm.
It was all over TV and the newspapers every day. So you're saying you were investigating it?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And I guess I found something. There was this medical company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals that had something to do with those kids.
Oh boy.
After I figured that out, I managed to get some information out of somebody who worked for them. I think it was...
Tonight, a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger liner docked offshore.
Mm-hmm. Do we ever learn who actually, blew the whistle? I don't think it's really important, but it's interesting nonetheless that, it's a full voice line and everything.
Yeah, that had to been it. That's why I went to the wharf.
Oh, here he is.
In the shadows, I searched the harbor until I found the ship he was talking about. There was a bunch of movement near it. Men in black suits, many of them were carrying large bags. Bags. There was something about the way they moved as they were carried. No doubt about it. There were human beings in those bags.
Quick question, actually, something that I'm going to be able to answer myself in a moment. Is this exactly the same as the revelation we got in the true ending? And if so, am I able to skip it? I am not able to skip it, so I'm just gonna let it play out.
I moved before I realized it. I came out of hiding with my gun already in my hand.
You know, just wondering in case I can make the playthrough a little bit more agile in that sense, but I don't mind revisiting this.
Don't move.
I felt metal touch the back of my head.
Drop the gun.
He kept digging the cold metal thing into my skull. There was nothing I could do. I did what he said and laid my gun on the ground. Then suddenly, there was a sharp pain in my neck. A needle.
And there he goes.
Drug. That was my last thought. My face hit cold concrete. I was out like a light after that. I woke up on a hard floor. Damn it. Shit, my head hurts. Where am I? A small, shabby bed, a dirty sink,
Yeah, and just by looking at this, you would be like, this is the exact same place.
a toilet with no privacy. I'd seen it countless times as a cop. I'm in a cell, huh?
It's interesting that I'm gonna save that for later, just to see if I don't remember if they mentioned this. So yeah,
Facing the toilet was a door set into the wall. I was still pretty woozy, but I made my way over to it. I pushed and pulled on it, but it won't open. Not like I expected much else. Would be dumb enough to put me in a cell and leave it unlocked.
yeah, no. So to be fair, surely there were other courses of actions that the people at the people of Cradle Pharmaceuticals would have done to deal with him. Like in terms of the story, duh, the story needs him to be alive and to be on the ship and to rescue those kids. But realistically, they should have just, killed him right there and then and dumped his body in the ocean or something. I don't mind, it's just, it's what the story needs in order to work, so it's fine.
Threw myself against the door a few times, but it wouldn't budge.
And of course, I don't want Seven to die, obviously.
I knew it. I gave up and made my way back to the bed and sat down. I sat there for a very, very long time. Who knows how long. Then, I heard a faint voice.
Right, so we're getting the stuff with the kids. I wonder how much of that we're gonna be able to see. Because if they actually show the kids on the screen, that's very definitive information that, oh shit, it's all connected.
The voice was far away. I couldn't understand what it was saying. But I could hear one. It was pretty high. Probably a little kid. Huh? No, it was several. I hear 5 or 6, maybe more. Where? Where are they coming from? I pressed my ear to the wall and tried to listen through it. No, that's not it. Left. It's coming from under the bed? I hauled on the little thing, flipped the thing over. And there it was. The bed had hidden an air vent under it. The hole in the wall was covered by a metal grate. I dropped flat on the floor and peered through the grate. I couldn't see shit. But
Yeah.
I knew it in my gut. This was where those voices were coming from.
He's a brave man. Just no questions about it, jumping right into this, saving those kids.
Hold up. Why are there kids here? But then when my inside man told me, it popped into my head.
Tonight, a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger liner docked offshore.
Whoa. Am I on that ship? It didn't matter. I knew was I had to get to those kids. I checked out the metal grate. Could I fit? I stuck my fingers in and grabbed it. And then...
Yeah. Yeah, rip that thing off.
Yeah. How do you like that, you son of a bitch?
He's such a dork sometimes. Like, Seven is a bit of a dork, isn't he? The way he was like talking into the shower head, thinking, well, he wasn't thinking it was a microphone. He was just, being a little goofy. Yeah.
I finally got the damn thing off. Sweat was dripping down my face, so I wiped it off and crawled inside.
And here I was so worried because this would be so claustrophobic, especially if you're his size and you're trying to crawl into this hole. Okay, so Junpei waited for Seven to resume his story. The longer he waited, however, the clearer it became that Seven had no intention of doing so, or no ability to do so. He had gone silent and simply stared off into the air, his eyes blank.
Hey, what happened after that?
He'd waited long enough, but Seven shook his head.
I don't remember what happens after that.
Yeah, I figured. So we need the true ending for the full story after all,
I think
huh?
I found some kind of door out of the duct. And I think I found some kids, too.
Okay. But we're not gonna get to see them.
Not good. Why can't I remember what happened next?
Ah, man, what happened to the kids, Seven? Did you save them?
I don't know. I don't know if it was me.
I don't know if it was me.
I've got this feeling. I think one of the kids died.
Oh, here we
A
go.
girl, I think.
Huh?
Deep in his heart, Junpei felt something very cold. Seven's head dropped, and Junpei saw on it a look of sadness the likes of which he had never seen on the man before. The large man's eyes blinked rapidly, as if he were fighting back tears, and he swallowed hard. His sigh was like the melancholy setting of an old abandoned building. He shook his head and spoke.
Anyway, just please don't ask me anymore, okay? I really don't remember anything else.
I wonder if that's the case, or if he's just, trying to either protect himself and or Junpei here. After that, Junpei could hardly try to force any answers out of the other man.
It's fine. Don't push yourself. Going by what he said?
Junpei left Seven to pull himself together and instead began thinking everything over.
The children who had been kidnapped 9 years before? Apparently, a company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals had been behind it all. They'd taken the children to the same ship we're on now.
I wonder what they had to do in order to cover the whole thing up, because it does look like the whole disappearance cases were very much present on all sorts of media, but the connection to Cradle was never proved. So what the hell?
They'd been brought here for an experiment. Seven said it had something to do with controlling human beings. The 16 children who had been kidnapped were the subjects.
And of course we know there's an extra two.
Seven had said 3 of their names were Aoi, Light, and Nona. I think that's all I got. Oh, and Seven is, or was at some point, a cop. I can't really use any of this information anyway.
Oh, you will.
I didn't learn anything about the Nonary game or Zero. Why were we brought to the same ship where they'd done those experiments 9 years ago? And just what the heck is this about controlling human beings? That's nuts. Did they really conduct an experiment like that?
Poor Junpei has no idea. And I can blame him, because it definitely sounds like something that's incredibly strange and convoluted, but it is what happened. Before long, Junpei realized he had spent quite some time deep in
I don't have
thought.
time to just stand here thinking. I need to get moving.
Junpei shook his head quickly to clear it and returned to his investigation, thoughts swirling in his mind. Right, so interesting bits of, backstory that we already know right there. But in the context of the story and what the characters know and what they can remember, yeah, this would have been some crazy revelations if this is your first time watching this. And here's what I wanted to say as well. So 7 is like, I can't remember anything else. I think a little girl died, but I'm not sure. And I wonder if it's really true that he can't remember, or just like Light and Clover, they're withholding the information that that's Akane on purpose because they know it's gonna affect Junpei in some way. And oh boy, yeah, indeed. Right, let's keep looking around then, shall we? Because we have these 4 tiles that I don't quite know what to do with. Anything with the sink here? No. Okay, I'm just gonna go outside then and look at this from a different angle because there's this whole thing here that we haven't even investigated, and yeah, this seems important. Okay, well, it looks like we've investigated all the rooms. The only mystery left is that door. Alright, let's crack that mystery then. We've got 4 tiles, and there are a bunch of tiles that are the same size up on the wall here. So if we replace 4 of the tiles on the wall with the ones we got, that should open the door. Well, there's only one way to find out. Okay, so... Emergence. Emergence. It's not emergency, it's emergence. That's a very, Is it the letters... Is it the E's? Because there are 4 E's and... It is, isn't it? 14 in hex? Oh, 100%. There we go. Hey, did you just hear something unlocked? Does that mean we got it right? Yes, it looks like we did. The 14 hitting on the tile. If you convert that to hexadecimal, it's an E. There we go. I've internalized these hexadecimal lessons that I have been given, both by the game and by my friend. Basically, the E's in emergence are the 14s from the tiles. So if we replace it, that gives up the answer. Do you really care why it worked? Let's just get out of here. Listen, sometimes you want to feel nice and smart about solving a puzzle, okay? Yeah, let's go. There we go. You found it. All right. They passed through the open door and headed to the next room. Junpei jogged down the short staircase and looked around. Ooh. Oh, this doesn't look good.
Oh, what the hell is this place?
Is this like a torture chamber? What is this? The words had sprung unbidden to his lips, but it was clear why. Junpei shivered. Lotus and 7 reached the bottom of the stairs and stopped short, terrified.
Ugh, this room is really creepy.
Yeah, like what the hell? This is like an electric chair or something.
I think we ought to get the hell out of here now.
He jogged up the stairs on the opposite side of the room and shook the door on the wall next to the catwalk. It's gonna be closed. Didn't open, and he muttered to himself.
Figures.
It's locked, isn't it?
Another escape segment here then?
Yep. Don't know why I thought this would be any different.
So, what is this room for, anyway?
Junpei looked around the room again.
Well, there's a chair in the center of the room.
Looks uncomfortable to say the least. I'd rather not sit in it if I can avoid it.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't even look at it. The back of it was covered with electrodes connected to a nest of wires.
Looks like it's placed over some kind of glass panel.
Mm-hmm. The one on the floor? Is that important?
Too dark to look through it, though.
Oh, I don't want to know what's supposed to be in there. Junpei turned to look at the right side of the room. There was a table covered with a piece of cloth.
This isn't dried blood on the tablecloth, is it?
Oh, it probably is. On top of the table were a number of metal instruments. Junpei didn't know what they were for, and he had a feeling he didn't want to find out.
Oh, what the hell is this?
Oh, this looks like a torture chamber. What the hell is this place? What the hell did they do here?
What are these tools for?
That's not something I even want to think about.
Junpei shook his head in an attempt to clear it and tried to focus on something else.
No doubt about it. This room's dangerous.
Yeah.
Let's make our search quick so we can solve the puzzle and get the hell out of here. Come on.
All right. Oh, Akane, we're really in it now. Okay, seek a way out. The torture room. Yep. The game's just telling me right away, this is a torture room. Bad things happen in this place. Okay, well then, I think this is gonna be it for this episode. We've managed to get through that little bit of backstory, which we've already seen, but it's always good enough to have a reminder. And we finished clearing those puzzles and the previous escape section. So in the next episode, we will get through this. And guys, if you've enjoyed this, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye for now.